Dude, that riff gets chunky at the end, man. I love it. Right. That was Terminal Sun. My
Terminal
man,
Sun,
DB
baby.
Rook's band, and he's the drummer. That's incredible. I asked him if him and his band would do like a little intro for an epic way. So we are here, the four Beardsmen of Bookpocalypse, and we have a special one today because I don't know what the hell's going on.
Neither do we.
So, you know what? I'm gonna pass the mic really quick to Tom, because Tom does this a lot and he impresses me every time. So can you just explain what we're doing? Because I'm not sure that I quite know. And I'm just going to do my best and hope to learn. And man, it's going to be fun.
That makes two of us, dude. This is the very first Four Beardsmen of the Bookpocalypse RPG. We've gone away and made our own set of rules, and this is very much we're learning as we go. All we need to know is we're going to roll dice and shit is going to happen. And the extra cool thing is these guys don't know what their stats are. We're going to make that up as we play. So say if one of these guys wanted to shoot something, they're going to have to tell a real life story of that skill. So I last shot a gun because I tried to shoot an alligator. And then I will decide how good the story is and what their stats should be.
I think there's an underestimation of how little I've watched some of my buddies in high school play, and I wasn't interested in it then. So I'm just trying to cover my bases. How stupid I'm going to feel today, but
don't. There's no need. We got you. I'm telling you.
All right. So I'm going to again. Where should we start with this, Tom?
You want to introduce characters, or like say a word about our characters?
Yeah, okay. And let's take DB. You start us off. Tell us about who you're playing and a little bit about Bookpocalypse.
Pretty much play myself. I kind of got the memo wrong, and this is me playing myself. Thought that would be nice and easy. We've got a set of items. Should we go through our items that we're taking with us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I've got a chunky axe.
Chunky, dude.
I've got a multi-tool. A very small multi-tool. I'm not going to build it, but I have got a bow and several arrows.
Ooh. Oh, nice.
I've got an extremely Callus and Crow leather duster.
Ooh,
hell yeah, dude.
That is very Callus and Crow.
I've got some decent boots.
Okay.
All I need now is something to stop them chafing. We'll get to that. And in my pocket, I've got a copy of Renier by Carl Forshaw, which is beautiful, a beautiful book. So that's going to keep me company in the wasteland. And I'm wearing my finest chainmail vest, as I often do.
Of course,
on my finest of moments. I love that.
David,
BTL
Jugs.
Right. So my name is Jugs. I'm a retired full contact competitive juggler. My intelligence is not a thing that I dumped a lot of points into at all. I'm capable of conversation, and that's about the extent of my smarts. But let's not let that be a judgment call. Anyways, I was going to become, since retiring from juggling, I wanted to become a professional golfer. I'm only 45, so it shouldn't be a problem. So I got one of my items is a golf club, and obviously another item is a golf ball. Because how else would I play golf? Also in my pocket, I got a little knife. It's my outdoorsy knife. It's good for anything knives usually do. And also, I can start a fire. I have a little flint.
Survivalist.
I think that's my items, and I think that's the majority. I'm very dexterous. I was really good at full contact competitive juggling. Just not so good at being smart. I don't know.
First question. Hey,
Tim,
Matt.
Tim wants to know real quick. Can you juggle? That takes some kind of smarts. Am I right? I think you are, Tim.
It's not a bad question, but no. Takes no smarts for me.
Muscle memory.
I think ask you a juggling question, we work out how good at juggling you really are.
Oh God.
Context, guys. Are we talking EDC?
Electronic
EDC is.
discharge.
So what we're doing is, so I'm kind of I'm extremely new to the role-playing games, and I've been very interested lately in getting into it. And these three are quite honed with their craft of
I'm not
role-playing games. So they're very nicely and kindly going to take me down this road, and hopefully it's going to be a lot of fun. It's already a lot of fun, and we've been here for like 3 minutes. So that's what we're doing, Brian. Thanks for being here, man. Oh, everyday carry. Okay. I like that. No. I mean, I think a lot of these items could be that.
It kind of is.
If I'm in the woods, I got this. I do have this guy.
The brief was your equipment is what you have in your house.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Now I don't carry this. My character has never hit a golf ball in his life, so
that's very Grand Theft Auto.
It occurred to me it's a weapon. It's a nice weapon, and my dexterity should help me swing it.
So now on to Tom.
Tom's GM. It's all you.
I'm literally everyone in the wasteland.
He is everybody.
So my name is Jargonheimer, and I don't know what that is from. It just sounded funny because I came up with it like in the last couple minutes here. And showing my inexperience even more, I've got magic baby powder because there's going to be no chafing on this adventure.
Nice, good.
Exactly. And it may have some other qualities to it as well, right?
I use that while juggling.
Yeah, this is the exact one he used.
I sweat a lot when I juggle.
And a really kind of like a combat Bowie knife, some sort of deal. I have another one here. It's an actual K-bar. My dad was in the military, but I just grabbed this one instead. But I think they come in useful for a lot of things. So that's what my inexperienced choices were.
I think you'll do good.
Now, before we start, one mechanic we have is, if you want to use a skill in this RPG, you have to tell us a story, and I, as the GM, will assign it. And the comments are more than welcome to chip in as to how good they think the skill is. And let's demonstrate how this works. David, Jugs, real life David, tell us your best juggling story.
How bad would it be if I can't juggle?
Very.
Let's see. I can technically juggle while walking forward in real life.
How many items?
Three items tops. I'm way more comfortable juggling 1 or 2 items, but I don't guess that's actually juggling, isn't?
Yeah, I think 2 is kind of just playing with a couple balls, right?
2 is just playing with yourself.
So you can play with your balls, but it may not be juggling. All right.
I knew it was going
at that.
There we go. I think we have our very first stat. I'm going to call this, I'll be generous, you have a 20 in juggling. You can add that onto your character sheet.
So, quick learning point. When you say you have a 20 in juggling, does that what does he add to his?
So that means in a vacuum, if I say I'm going to juggle a thing, then I need to roll under 20. I need to roll 2 d10s. So right now I rolled what's double zeros? Is that 00? So if I roll double zeros and a 3,
that's straight to hell.
That's a 3.
100.
That's a critical.
Yeah.
That's a critical success.
That is the worst thing you could possibly roll.
Oh, is that
0, 0?
Oh, 0 is 100.
100 is the absolute bad fail.
Right. So in this, the higher you roll, we're trying to picture golf. We're trying to roll low. Seduce the
100
guard.
on juggling is
guard.
you start juggling balls, and then midway through, they've suddenly been switched out for live grenades.
Yeah. Are we going to be adding our stats into this, or are we keeping it basic for session 1?
We'll keep it basic for session 1.
Yeah,
we'll make
like
it more
that.
stat heavy for session 2 and
Yeah.
beyond.
Well, let it be known then, at least, for the sake of the storytelling, my intelligence is 2 out of 10, which
So I
makes
noticed
me the dumbest person in the room.
I noticed, David, you brought the juggling part of the character in. Did I not bring in a characteristic with talking?
It's
about
on
my-
you. Your call, dude.
So I could be Jargonheimer, the horse trainer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we will say,
Right,
when's the
have
last
to be a
time?
horse
How did it
trainer.
go last time you trained a horse? And you will have to tell us. Well, I trained a
Mhm.
chicken
Yeah.
one time, or
Well,
whatever.
it just
it is.
happens to be that I'm Jargonheimer, a horse trainer now.
Nice.
I've made a decision that I'm
Just
the horse
makes it
trainer.
easier for me because I know
We're
my
happy
own
to have-
stories. It doesn't make you-
The drummer, drum meister.
To answer John Douglas's question, the comments, we've made up the system. It is loosely based on a percentile die system and basic RPG.
John's gonna
Bert-
come up in here with those like super like.
Oh, he's gonna know.
like, he's gonna know exactly what's
Yeah.
going on. And John, I don't know if you're here at the beginning. I'm sure you were because you're always that type of dude. Man, I'm fucking lost, bro. No, I'm
telling
actually
you,
coming around to this idea, and I'm having a lot of fun already. And they've said, "Look, we've got you." So they're holding
I'm
my hand. I
entertained.
appreciate it.
I'm entertained by how intimidated you are, Matt. You shouldn't be.
Hey.
Because you're in good hands.
Oh, good. Yeah.
You're motherfucking Jargonheimer.
Jargonheimer. I actually wrote
I'm
that down.
Jargonheimer, man. I think it's what makes me nervous is, as you guys have pointed out, like I'm very comfortable with talking and for a long time about a million things. When I don't know what's going on and I don't have something to talk about, I'm kind of freaking out a little bit, right?
All you got to do, get in Jargonheimer's head and describe to us what Jargonheimer would do in that situation. Like,
WWJD.
if Jargonheimer was watching Jugs juggling and noticed he was juggling live active grenades, what would Jargonheimer do?
He would sit back, kick his feet up, and have a beer, wait for things to unfold.
I think you're going to be
Unfurled.
good.
And there's the fellowship. There's the beard ship right there.
Now, if David was doing that, I'd be like, man, I got to save this guy. But the
I
juggler,
appreciate that.
absolutely.
All right. Are we guys ready?
We've got this. Let's do it.
The Beardpocalypse begins. It was slow at first. People started noticing little things, like their Amazon Prime delivery didn't arrive the next day. It took several days, then a week. Their DoorDash delivery would arrive with a bit of a rabid-looking DoorDash delivery driver who was actually trying to eat the person they were delivering food to. All these strange things started to occur more and more often until planes started falling out of the sky. Great big fishes started opening up in the streets, and humanity crumbled. And that is when you Beardsmen decided, fuck this. And you descended into your vault. We're about 6 months later. You're getting a little bit tired of all the dehydrated rations that you'd amass as you were prepping. Turns out the preppers were right. You're getting pretty hungry. You've played all your Nintendo Switch games you brought with you, and now you're thinking, maybe it's time to leave the vault. And it's at this moment where a transmission comes through the tannoy above your heads. This here's the Grill Master. I'm opening a new diner, and it's the best wasteland burgers you ever did get your chops around. Come on down. It's only half an hour's walk from you. What do you guys do?
I'm hungry. I
Are
salivate.
we all in the same vault?
Oh,
You're
right.
in
Are
the
we
same
friends?
vault.
Okay.
You all know each other prior to this. You were on the prepper forums. You all kind of invested in this vault, this bunker together. You got all your supplies. It's Jugs' switch.
I'm going to explain to Jugs what a burger is. kind of bread, meat, bread, just so he's on the same page.
Sounds like something we can eat.
Potentially.
You can indeed.
Is it? Is it? I'd like to try one. He made it sound really good. It sounds like it's made out of meat, which I miss, or at least hydrated meat. 30 minutes. That's at least half an hour. So, but it's not much more than half an hour if my calculations are correct. So I feel like we could get there in about half an hour.
It's almost certain at this point.
I say we crack the door.
We've got to go up there, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's scary.
Let's
up
tool
there.
up.
Jargonheimer, what are you doing at this point?
So I hop up out of my kind of decrepit vault, right? Because I took the warnings a little not too serious, right? I'm quite hungry because as a horse trainer, I had to do what I had to do. I drug down the meat that I could from my own herd, right?
Ooh,
Is that what we've been eating for the last 6 months?
It is.
the old and feeble.
Oh god.
I can, yeah. And things went sour pretty quickly. I didn't have a way to keep the meat edible and safe to eat, right? So I come out and I'm super hungry. I've lost a lot of weight, and I see this guy juggling, and he looks like he's on his way to something special. And we get it. Tell me if am I able to incorporate with other characters? Okay.
Yeah.
I hear that there's a burger joint popping up in the midst of hell breaking loose. It makes me feel somewhat like normalcy is coming back, just the slightest.
Finally, thank goodness.
Yeah.
6 months was a long time.
And I have my, let's see. I don't know really much after that at the moment.
Okay.
So I'm kind of just on my way to really excited about a good meal, right?
We are going to need a horse training stat for Jargonheimer. Give us your best horse-related story.
Probably, oh gosh, I really screwed myself with this one. You know what I've never done in my whole life is trained a horse.
You weren't necessarily a great horse trainer. You were just a horse trainer. So
I just wanted the title. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What is the closest life experience you have to training a horse?
I would say putting a rope around the said horse's head and trying to, because these are a huge breed, right? And most of my attempts at riding or trying to train the horses I did have that were huge and somewhat stubborn proved to be a daunting task. But I was tenacious in trying to finish the job. And I wasn't able to because then I had to eat them.
hopefully after
That's a Jargonheimer story. I was like, I don't think Matt's really eaten a horse like this in real life, but we'll allow it. I'm going to call it
on the ball and give him something with a little time to think, and you're eating horses all of a sudden.
We'll give you a generous 25 in horse training.
Nice.
5, you said? Oh, 25.
Yeah.
So remind me that I have to roll a 25 or under.
Yeah.
Right.
If it comes up and asks you to do a horse training check, you need 25 or under.
Okay, so what if I roll above a 25? What does this do?
Failure.
Okay. What did I fail at though?
Trying to train a horse.
Story specific.
So say if at some point, I'm not saying this will happen, you come across a centaur and Jargonheimer decides to ride it. That might constitute a horse training check.
Okay.
And if you fail at riding the centaur by failing your roll, by rolling over 25, then yeah, shit might happen.
That makes perfect sense. Seriously, that was a wonderful explanation.
Say it with centaurs. Okay. So the three of you are all deciding to leave the vault. Is that correct?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Burgers.
Which one of you wants to press the big red door release button?
I love red.
He loves red, and look, he's not worried too often.
I will have my bow ready while he's pressing the big red button to open the door, in case we've got the neighbours trying to get in.
The rectangular vault door hisses. All the bars are automatically drawn across. The dry ice machine that DB installed kicks in, so the vault is full of smoke. The door swings open, the smoke billows out. And at first, your eyes do struggle to adjust to natural light as opposed to that sort of, that high res shit.
I got a prop for this.
But it's dusk. It's dusk. It's the sky's very reddish. The world is still burning.
Dang it.
As you all step outside of the vault, a tumbleweed rolls past. The tumbleweed is glowing a neon radioactive green and leaving a bit of a snail trail behind it. You decide to step over that. And you find yourselves out in the wasteland. All around you are crumbling buildings. Assuming you all have a look around the horizon. Okay. Let's have you all roll for this. You can use whatever skill you like. Perception,
listen, I have
power, whatever you think is going to be most useful in this situation.
No actual stats. I got high perception.
Yeah,
just roll.
Let's go perception. Let's check it out.
Just so everybody knows, I'm rolling a virtual die, but that's on my list to get probably tonight when I get done with this. I'll get some dice.
D20.
D100.
D100.
Got ya. 31.
Okay.
Success. Yeah.
And I
success.
do I say what I rolled?
Yep.
Oh yeah, 13.
Okay. So,
Sorry if I keep poking my head around, folks. My camera is right in front of part of my computer screen, and I kind of can't see the link up there. So
13 is very good. You all take a look at your surroundings, and there's not much going around in your immediate vicinity around the bunker. You put it in a pretty secluded location out in the desert. But two things that you notice. Directly ahead of you, amidst all the orange and the fireness of the sky, the darkness, there is a bright pink light. And Jargonheimer, you can sort of hear this thud, thud, thud of music coming from that direction. Jargonheimer, because you rolled the best out of these three, another thing you notice is to the east, there is a ridge, and on top of this ridge appears to be a compound, and it's probably also roughly a half-hour's walk from where you are. It looks like it's been constructed very much after all of this went down. The fence has been put together with bits of building that have been harvested, so bits of roof, doors, windows, anything they can get their hands on. That compound is very, very dark. What would the three of you like to do next?
So we all see the pink light.
Burger guy say to the east.
Jargonheimer sort of points these things out to you both.
Down yonder. So, do I answer that question since I'm the one that says it or sees it?
You can all decide what you want to do.
I just can't remember. Is it east to the burger place? Or did
My
he just
guy's
say
thinking.
East is to the compound, and
Okay.
north is to the pink light, which you're presuming is the burger place.
right?
Right. My muscle memory or my just something primal in my brain correlates that light with food for sale. So I'm like, I think we should go, guys. I really think we should go toward that light, and so does my belly.
Well, there's music thumping, and I'm like, what better than to go to an absolute rager right now in the middle of Bookpocalypse, because we've got nothing to lose. They've probably got some, good music. I was going to go somewhere else with that, but they've come across a couple square pieces of paper that make you see funny things.
Oh,
And no, and they also know. They may also know where water is, because we're all somewhat dehydrated.
I could go for a drink.
So I'm going to be the skeptical dad with my bow drawn while the kids are heading to the party.
The rage.
Okay. The three of you make your way towards what you perceive is the diner, and sure enough, the closer you get on a half-hour walk, the hill starts rolling towards you, crest over that curve, and then you see it. It is a 1950s style American diner. The flashing neon light above it reads Day Go Bar. Outside are a load of Mad Max style jerry-rigged motorbikes, like dune buggies, all barbed, all have guns attached to them. And this place seems to be rocking. It's a little disheveled. It's mostly intact, and the thump 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 you heard from way back in the vault is actually some real like old school, like doo-wop, proper Grease style, diner music, real sax heavy. You
like
count you count about a dozen or so of these vehicles all outside of the diner, so you're assuming this place is pretty darn busy. What would you all like to do now? Diner's ahead of you, vault's behind you, compound somewhere over there.
I think I'm too dumb to sense any kind of fear or threat, so I'll probably just continue strolling along full pace directly toward the cars.
I'm pretty much the opposite, but I will follow along.
Jagenheimer?
I'm snapping my fingers.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of that kind of music, so I'm pumped. Maybe the old diner has lead paint in it, right? We can chew on some of that.
That's how I got as smart as I am. I say we go for it.
Heck yeah. That deters me from it after I hear that comment.
It's great for your brain, I promise. Trust me.
I consider jacking one of those badass Mad Max cars, because why not?
I think we need to come out with one way or another, but let's make sure it's safe first.
I hadn't really looked at my stats here until Jugs is incorporating that, and I like that, and I wanted to do that. And I put my size is just a little bit more natural, like me. I put 7, and strength at a 6, so I'm somewhat, I guess, like a Neanderthal type of burly kind of dude.
Okay.
And
I'm just glad you guys are around.
Yes. And we've got Daryl that he's got the precision. I go in with the brute force. We've got all angles covered. And I don't think much before I act. So
do you want to borrow my axe?
I'm going to borrow your axe. Yes.
You take the axe.
I would love it. So I borrow his axe, and
I see y'all discussing an axe, and I get my golf club, and I'm just going to hold it like this. I just get this sense that I better at least hold it in my hands.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. So you're approaching one of the Mad Max vehicles with DB's axe. Is there any particular one that takes your fancy? And feel free to describe your ideal Mad Max vehicle here.
Absolutely. So we've got the 50 cal on the back as a truck. It's lifted. It's got mud tires for sure. 33 Mickey Toms. We've got the custom exhaust. We've got it's got a light bar on it too. Maybe an old firefighter light bar. And instead of the normal wee sounds, it puts out this piercing, like everybody has to stop, kind of like a weapon.
Can it sound a little bit like Ecto 1?
Ooh.
And I noticed that it's also the best taken care of and least guarded.
Okay.
Just our
are
luck.
you going to attempt to hotwire the car? See if the key's in the ignition? What do you want to do to it specifically?
So I take the axe that I borrowed from my good buddy here, and I smash the window in because this one, right? We still have windows, and I reach in and unlock the door.
I'm still holding my club.
Yeah.
And I take my my weapon I brought, and I jiggle it a little bit, and it takes a little bit.
Wire?
I get shocked a few times, but we take it to the face, take it to the chin, and I turn it, and it just so happens it's like a '98 Chevy, and that works.
I feel like we got to hear that your chops.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to hear the associated story, but try not to make it incriminating here.
Let's not go to jail.
It's actually a really boring story. 98 Chevys, like the 90 Chevys are actually really bad for just turning the thing without the key in it. So that's it. Yeah. I've never stolen a car. I'm not that bad.
Of course we will. None of us have ever
try to hide from cops, dude. Like
I am going to allow it because that was a fantastic bit of role playing, especially for your first ever go.
Agreed.
I'm not even going to make you roll for it. It's a Chevy. You hoy in your Bowie knife, and yeah. So you've actually turned the engine on, though.
Yeah, it's got a miss, but it's not breaking down. You know, we can deal with the miss. That's okay. There's not any brakes. I noticed that the brake lines are cut, so hopefully there's no hills nearby.
Are we going for it?
This thing is loud. Like there's a real sort of backfire that goes on, and it kicks out a plume of onyx smoke, like real like tar smoke. And I suppose all of you, apart from Jugs, who's just dumb as a sack of hammers and holding a golf club, thinks, "Oh shit, that was loud." It doesn't seem like anyone's heard you over the noise of the diner, though.
But what about when I'm going, guys, the burgers? What about guys?
So we knock
at the top of my lungs.
We grab a big rock and we knock him out, so he stops that.
Yeah, that's it. Let's roll for it. I'm gonna make a contested roll. Jargenheimer, you're rolling to smack Jugs over the head with a rock.
Right.
I got dexterity and constitution. I don't know if it's going to matter, but if it doesn't, that's fine. If we're in
your head
still,
thick? Do you want to use constitution or do you want to try and dodge it?
Let's try to dodge it. I'm dexterous. I'm more dexterous than I am.
All right.
Constitute.
So both of you, you're just rolling against each other. So lowest wins in this case.
17.
What? 74.
Oh wow. Cool. So hold on, let me make sure I'm not cheating. So
yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
I hit the 2 10s, right? The 2 10.
Yeah.
Okay. How are you rolling a 74?
Let me show you. My 7. So one of these dice has a 0. So you got 30 and then 8. So this would make a 38 or a 32. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Hold on. So I'm rolling 2 of these virtual die, right? And one is
and yours is going to look different because yours doesn't have a 0.
Did I get a 30?
One is one is a 7 and the other one's a 10.
So
that would be
so depending which way
70.
around it is. So you need to make sure you know that say left is 10s, right is units. Or
Okay, so left is 7, right is 10.
So that would be
Yeah.
71.
Oh, so 71. Okay. I knew I was
It's
cheating.
still 3 better than what Jugs rolled.
Okay.
So
Sorry,
a
man, I
few
probably
things
lose.
happen here. We did
I bet
establish
he
Jugs.
brained me.
He didn't get a 17. He got a 71. So not that bad.
Glancing blow.
So right as Jugs is going, burgers, is when Jargenheimer from the Chevy picks up a rock and
Lovingly.
hurls it at Jugs' head. Thankfully for Jugs, there ain't much going on in that head. So the rock kind of just bounces off.
And it was with
It
love, too.
does-
So, like, he's definitely
Can
coming
I-
back.
Can I hoik him over my shoulder and put him in the back with the machine gun?
Yes.
You
You give him a
can.
good pat on the head and say, I love you, man. I just had to.
What about the burgers?
At this point, the door of the diner opens. That sort of red velour door that they tend to have. And there's a woman standing there. She's wearing a white maxi dress. Her hair is shaved at the sides and sort of knotted on the top. It's dyed candy floss pink. And she's chewing bubble gum. And she calls out to 3 of you. Y'all 3 gonna come in and have some burgers or what?
Can I rouse?
I like the truck. I want to get out of here.
I want to rouse from my stupor and be like, "Burger, guys,
Mhm.
burgers!" I've got a
At this
one-track
point,
mind.
It's okay because we're on our way, right?
She just steps to the side and goes, "Oh, come on in, darling. We got a booth here right for you."
So, is this close to where I stole the truck?
Oh, it's the
We're in the car park.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still in the parking lot of this
yeah,
place.
yeah.
Okay.
You're still in the parking lot. Jugs is a lot nearer to the entrance than you or DB. DB's sort of, well, actually, DB's just picked Jugs up and is carrying him over his shoulder.
Guys, burgers!
Yeah.
Legs are doing
So-
this in the air.
Fate has convinced
I
me
don't
that
trust
burgers
her.
are the route we need to go.
Have you got, with your canny knife, have you got a way of making this car not start for anyone except us?
Mm. You know,
Like a little wire somewhere that might be cut. You know, I don't know.
yeah. So I not only do I know that my knife will start this, but I doubt anybody else does. But I do know how to hot wire it. So I have that wire, cut it, and
Yeah.
I know where it's at. Nobody else can steal it.
Yeah.
Hopefully the real owner doesn't come out because
Yeah.
it's not going to start for him now.
He
Because I'm
might
the
have
only
to
one who knows
do
how to
that.
start it.
Never mind the smashed windshield on it.
That too. Yeah.
Yeah, we can get that repaired once we've got a full belly.
Yes. You just put some plywood in there.
Let's do it then. Yeah.
We're going in.
Oh, yeah.
Let's-
Sorry.
Let's down weapons and go in peacefully.
I'm
Yeah.
rubbing my head. Jeez. You
That
guys have a
way-
headache? I got a headache.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I just got this. So, in
What's
order to
going on?
keep Jugs from screaming the rest of the night and maybe potentially keeping us from getting away with this awesome 50 cal and the 98 Chevy truck, we go in to please his obsession with burgers. I mean, we all are obsessed at this point. We're really hungry. But with a truck comes that eventually, I feel like.
Okay, I just have to check. DB, are you still carrying Jugs when you walk through the entrance to the
No,
diner?
I'm going to put him down and wake him up and give him a stroke.
Yeah.
The 3 of you follow the waitress into the diner, and this place is a real assault on the senses. One of the first things you notice hanging from the ceiling is a 1978 Harley Davidson FXS in like it's all chrome, all black. It's a real.
How did that get up there?
The rest of the place is just covered in black and white check flags. There's mannequins with racer helmets and the full body getup they wear, and everywhere is this pink neon. Most of it, as I said, is intact. There are a few booths where the neon is flickering, giving it like a pink strobe effect. Most of these booths are occupied by some pretty grim looking people. They're all wearing that sort of bounty hunter leather duster style thing, cowboy hats, both men and women. No one really pays any attention to the three of you coming in. They're all too busy drinking beers, doing shots, tucking into some admittedly pretty damn good looking burgers. You weave your way through all the booths, following the waitress, and she leads you to your table. She hands you each a menu, and I'm assuming all three of you sit down, or do you want to remain standing and look around?
I sit. I plop on down like it's every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take a seat.
I put my back to the door even.
Yeah, take a seat that allows me to get out of the booth and gone very quick.
I start clicking my silverware on the table.
Starts juggling knives and shit.
I do. I juggle my silverware.
I sit down on the inside, and Daryl's on the outside because he's more paranoid. He knows where the exits are. I follow him. And he's also got the bow. But yeah, I also noticed at the bottom of the menu that today's special is possum, and start having second thoughts on the burger.
Waitress looks at you all. What are y'all having?
I'll go like, I want the burger, and I want it rare.
Possum's rare, baby. Yes.
You want
all
the
fixins.
possum special, or do you want the house special, Wasteland Burger?
What do you recommend?
I go with the Wasteland. You're less likely to get food poisoning or botulism.
Wasteland it is. Wasteland burger. Sounds delicious.
One rare Wasteland. She points at you, Joggenheimer. What do you have, Garnham?
I'm not a big fan of botulism, considering there's like a 98% death rate even in modern medicine. Back 6 months ago when that was a thing. So I go with the Wasteland burger and specifically ask her to not tell me what the meat is and to please make it well done.
Got it.
And also, I need a few of those beers, and hopefully they're cold, right? Yeah. I don't know how we're going to pay for this yet. That's what I start worrying about. So I'm starting my getaway plan right now before the food even gets here.
In a rare moment of lucidity, I don't say, "Guys, we don't have any money." I don't say anything like that.
What are we going to do?
Are you still juggling the cutlery as you do this?
Yeah,
No,
you
I'm
keep
distracted.
juggling. Keep that brain engaged in juggling. We'll be all right.
Flashing at objects.
Nice.
And you, handsome, what are you having?
Wasteland burger, jug of water. If you got any water,
Do you want the irradiated kind or the good kind?
the good kind.
You got it, sugar.
In fact, have you got any takeout?
For the rest of you gentlemen?
I'll take the irradiated water. Sounds good.
Nice.
I'll have one of each.
One each. Woo. And can I get you fellas a few beers?
Yes.
They are cold.
Okay, yes. I do need a few. Few for me.
Not for me. I'm keeping straight.
You
The
fucking
response.
put. Sure. Fine. You stick with your boring ass water. All right. I'll be right back with your burgers, gentlemen. She shoots a sort of fiery glance at DB, gathers up your menus, and returns fairly quickly with a bottle of beer each and your various degrees of gamma infected water. And she leaves the three of you to it.
Sparkling.
Fancy.
Can I give the burgers a sniff?
Yeah, I want to look at my. I want to observe the burger.
Yours haven't arrived yet, but you do sniff the air. Smells like a normal burger joint, like that flame grilled meaty scent or sickly sweet thing going on. Most of these burgers are absolutely drenched in barbecue sauce. You notice you can detect that vinegary sweet tang in the air.
Hell yeah.
You don't seem to notice anything out of the ordinary. Generally seems like a burger joint from, admittedly, you just looking around what other people are having.
I say, I think things are really looking up, guys, is what I say.
Okay. I'm starting to chafe, so we get some baby powder in there. Daryl is so glad that I kept this. Like, out of all the things that I kept, his feet are chafing today as well. And the journey doesn't continue with chafed legs, guys. So I brought the baby powder, and it's also
it's magical, right?
Baby powder. It is magical, but it's only magical for the purpose of what baby powder is. Just really good baby powder, right? Like, it's not going to turn you into like an orc or something today. We're getting that chafe under control faster than you ever thought possible. Type of magic.
While sipping our glowing water.
Yeah. Neon green, like our name tags here.
The waitress returns with your wasteland burgers. Rare goes to Jugs. The well dones go to Jargonheimer and DB. And yeah, true enough, yours is also absolutely smothered in barbecue sauce. Amazingly, you still have lettuce, tomato, kosher pickle, sesame seed bun. Like, these burgers seem legit.
I start wondering where the chain of demand and supply and demand has all of a sudden come from, because I've been in a bunker for 6 months. So somebody didn't let me in on the secret. And I came out a little too late. So I started getting angry, and I smashed my burger on Jugs' face just because I'm just joking. I didn't do that.
I was going to say, I've got a quarter of mine eaten by that point, just so you know.
I start wondering what kind of secrets went on and why it took so long for us to find out 6 months later, when there's been an obvious supply and demand kind of thing going on, as far as even like planting things. Because look, lettuce is a plant, guys.
And it goes bad quickly.
Yeah.
I take as big a bite as I can fit in my mouth, and I chew it up and just try to inhale as much of this burger. I'm just going to freaking town. I can't even taste it. I'm eating it so fast.
Can I carefully sniff and analyze what I'm eating?
What skill would you like to use for this?
I'd like to use perception, but I am particularly uncanny with my nasal perception.
I sense a story coming on.
Nasal perception. I like that.
Yeah.
Do we want a nasal perception story from DB? I think we do. Yes,
we do.
Okay. So where I work, there was a couple of times when we got infested with rats, all in the cellar, all in the bits where we don't work, because we didn't see any, but we knew we had rats. We had droppings everywhere. And we got a guy in who came, poisoned all the rats, and then they started to die in the floorboards. Oh. So we were coming into work every morning to this very particular smell, which was horrific and kind of, I will never forget. But my story is the fact that I was able to locate exactly where each corpse was in the floorboards. We paid a guy to come and lift the floorboards up, pulled them out. But I knew where they were.
Pretty good.
I mean, I'll give you a 35 in nasal perception.
Nasal perception. Nice.
I know the smell you're talking about. I've worked at a place and there were rats in the ceiling and they put traps up there.
Roll a nasal perception check.
But you've never said that before.
Yeah. That's special, guys.
That is a 10. Success.
Oof, nice.
Your finely tuned nasal perception reveals that the burger is not made of decomposing rat.
Oh, thank God.
Smells meaty. It smells meaty and barbecuey. It smells like a burger. It's been at least 6 months and beyond since you last had a beef burger, however long ago it was. So you generally what a burger smells like.
Yeah, I'll trust my nose and dig in.
Okay. Jargonheimer, are you smearing it in Jugs' face, or are you eating it, or leaving it, or what are you doing?
No, I go between a soft spot in my heart for Jugs and perpetual hate, and right now I'm feeling the love for him because he's not yelling and
blowing the cover.
He's actually making me laugh right now because it takes very little to keep his attention, and he's still juggling forks and stuff
while eating.
While eating, he's a multitasker too, which kind of baffles me due to the really low intellectual properties associated with. So let's see.
Dig in. It's delicious, Jargonheimer. Come on.
Yeah. So I noticed a patch of skin with hair on it in the burger that I was about to bite into, and start to question what I should do next. Do I say something and cause a fight, or do I just eat it? Which that's not happening.
Roll a perception check.
Nasal perception or straight up perception?
I'll allow you to choose.
Excuse me, that's nasal perception TM. Right on that.
33.
Okay. So you inspect your burger. You see what you think is a hair, so you look at it a little bit closer. You feel there is something amiss with your burger. You have a quick glance at DB's, at Jugs's, or Jugs is kind of shoveling the entire thing in his mouth. So what little bit of garbled, chewed burger you can see from Jugs, you can't really see anything like that on theirs. So yeah, I'll confirm you've seen a hair in your burger.
Okay, so I noticed that the shade of color that the meat on my hamburger is different, and all of a sudden I feel as if they have pointed and singled me out for a reason unbeknownst to me. So I grabbed Juggles and ask him what I should do, because although sometimes he's not the smartest, he often gives great advice.
All right, Jargonheimer. I had to actually look at the spelling of your name. All right, Jargon.
There's no proper way to spell it.
This is fine. Mine's rare. I don't feel a thing. I say dig in. What's the harm?
I don't feel a thing.
There's juices coming down my face. You came to the right spot, buddy. Dig in.
I start to second guess asking Juggles for advice in the future, but I'm going to go out on a limb and trust him, and I take a bite.
Yeah.
In
Cheers.
fact, I finish it. I pick the hair out and I finish it.
Okay. So you all eat your burgers. drink your beers, drink your water, whether it's irradiated or not. About an hour goes by. It's actually a pretty nice vibe. You're enjoying the place. You're having a good catch up. It feels good to be out of that sweaty old vault. I'm not gonna lie. When you have all finished, the waitress comes back and she drops your check on the table. And she's written out 3 wasteland burgers, 3 waters, 3 beers, and she signed her name, Leia. And underneath that, where you'd normally see how much it costs, she's written 1 favor to the grill master.
Might be needing that baby powder.
Without hesitation, I'm like, fellas, I got it. I've worked on a grill before. I think I'm exactly what they need.
Leia blows a very large bubblegum bubble and it goes sure. Y'all wanna grant the favor, just you, not the other 2. You on your own.
You guys want to come? It's whatever. I'll do it myself. You guys want to get the car going for when I finish?
You wave at us 10 minutes prior to your shift ending, and we'll get that in order. Is what I say, so he kind of can give us a heads up.
I'm gonna lean forward and say, he needs a bit of help. I'm gonna come with him.
I'm gonna go. What's that mean?
Sure. Wait here, please. So she winks at Jugs and then disappears into the kitchen.
Guys, I think she likes me.
I think so too.
At that point, the music stops, the lights dim.
Oh God, that's still down. I feel
And
some shit going on.
on either side of the kitchen doors, there's this sudden burst of pyrotechnics. These sparks like fly in a diagonal either side of the kitchen. The Eye of the Tiger starts blaring out of the jukebox incredibly loudly. The strobe effect from the damaged neon is somehow increased. Every single booth stops talking and turns around to look at the kitchen doors. And they burst open. And you see a guy who's about 6'9". Huge mountain stoops through. And he's ripped. He's not wearing a shirt. The only thing he's wearing are some black pants or black trousers for DB. He has a very, very large beard. Because of course.
I like him already.
Yeah, I don't, because I'm petty, and he's trying to one up me.
He's taller than you.
He's taller than me, yeah. And that's just instant.
He has a burger tattooed on his chest from his neck all the way down to his navel.
It's like hardcore, but like childish at the same time.
He's got, remember those real douchebaggy flames from the 90s they used to put on like Dodge Vipers and shit? He's got those up his arms. He's got a spatula. He makes a palm tattoo as the head of the spatula, and the handle goes down there. He puts his arms together. The entire diner goes, "Whoa, grill master, grill master." And he comes out and goes, "I am your grill master." The whole diner goes nuts. The 3 of you are just watching this. How do the 3 of you react to this?
I'm excited. I'm as excited as I've ever been.
In his life, yeah.
Clapping. He must be really good at the grill, guys.
I'm going to slide out my chair, so I've got a bit of a quick exit.
Yeah, I
And I'm going to
trust.
say, X.
Yes, I trust Daryl's instincts. Now more so than I trust Jugs' instincts based on our last encounter. And
That burger was good, bro.
immediately start wondering when chefs that look like they have a Trans Am with the flip up headlights in the 90s became popular in the apocalypse. And he, yeah, that's it. Sorry.
Okay. The grill master makes his way to your table. He runs his hand through his hair, and it's like that frosted tip Guy Fieri style hair, completely
shit.
upside down, sunglasses as well.
Take us to Flavortown. Flavortown! I'm looking up at him.
He places 2 dinner plate sized hands on either side of the table, either side of you, Jugs. And he looms in. This guy just smells of burger grease, like of frying oil and meat and French fries. He goes, "You're the one who's giving me the favor."
Slightly like Ireland going on there.
I just say it, don't spray it.
I start to think Carpe Diem, and I'm thinking about knocking the dude's jaw sideways.
I'm in the show still. I'm like,
because I'm intimidated by a burger chef, and I'm really petty. And I'm also thinking that Chevy outside is his.
uh-oh. I'm oblivious to any threat still.
Was his.
Was his. Commandeer, baby.
He crosses his arms, and he looks the 3 of you up and down. He looks at your Carpe Diem people's elbow that you've got going on.
That's right.
And just the corner of his mouth tilts upwards. "Well, I got a favor for you. Listen up.
It's a pirate.
You might have noticed on the way here, there's a compound. Inside that compound are the finest cattle that you ever did see. And I want to make burgers out of them. Go to the compound, get me one of them cattle, bring him here, and I'll give you another burger on the house. Don't keep your grill master waiting." And then everyone goes nuts again. He steps backwards whilst doing this and disappears into the kitchen.
Throws up some gang signs.
I'm getting regular show vibes from this guy. I don't know if y'all have ever watched a regular show.
I actually have a turn of heart, and I'm starting to like this guy now. All of a sudden,
Yeah,
he's quite bipolar in the apocalypse. And he said that I could go wrangle and wrestle one of those bulls, or it could be a heifer. Who knows? But if there's cows, there's milk, and I need milk and cookies.
and cows are not so different from horses. No,
This is true.
That's true. Maybe I could train a cow.
They probably trust you.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Yeah, we could do like let's see how they can hurdle. Right? No, they're not jumping. But I'm excited because I want to try to wrangle one of these, maybe spunky bulls or potentially a heifer. I don't know. Yeah, probably
in another moment of lucidity, it occurs to me that if this were simply a cow collecting mission, somebody would have already done it. And so I'm going to say, well, I don't know. I don't want to say anything too intelligent because I'm not very intelligent.
That was actually pretty intelligent based on our previous attempts at.
I know. Let me tone it back down, guys. This is fine.
He has instincts, guys.
Race ya.
Yeah. Whoever gets there last is a rotten egg.
I'm completely working on relief that things have gone a lot better than I thought they would. So I'm pretty happy. Let's go. Let's do it.
Right. Yeah.
Are you going to take the Chevy that's outside?
I think we should. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we even take it up there, park it up there so it's hidden.
Guys, we shouldn't walk because we might get a cramp, and that's what I have known since I was a kid. And my mom told me that. I feel like we should take that car. That
there's no bananas.
that Jargonheim. We don't even have any potassium or whatever bananas do for us as far as cramps go. Yeah. Let's take that that card that I guess that's your card, Jargonheim.
It is now, boys. It is now.
Needs a name.
I definitely want to take the Chevy 98 Chevy 1500 with the 33-inch Mickey Thompsons.
And the 50 cal.
In the 50 caliber.
The 50 cal.
Yeah, don't forget.
And I'm loading the 50 caliber because on this mission, I not only want to get this guy what he needs and what I want to eat, but I want to target practice too.
Okay.
Does he need a live cow? Do we know that? Do we know anything about butchery between us?
None of you are.
No.
It's not too late. You're still at your booth.
Oh yeah. Well, let's. I say we go for the jump up.
Let's go. Yeah, I'd rather not spend any more time waiting for the risk factor to rise.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're all heading to the Chevy, or you're going to ask? Okay. You all head to the Chevy. Who's driving?
Me, definitely.
I'm a really good driver.
And
You've got a really nice gun on the back. You take that gun and you point it at people. Go for it.
I'll get on the gun.
You have to supervise him, DB.
Yeah.
We're still having
Child.
issues. He may end up juggling 50 caliber bullets, which are really big and expensive, and I'm sure very hard to find in the apocalypse. So I'm driving. I started up, and Daryl's in the back with Jugs babysitting.
Just as you're speeding away, you swear you can hear a very distant voice becoming ever distant, going, "Oh my goddamn Chevy! You bastard, come back!"
I go like, "We'll be right back."
We're just borrowing it.
This Chevy has been kitted up to tear through the wasteland. Like this thing goes quick and makes mincemeat out of any radioactive tumbleweeds you come across. You launch off sand dunes and go back down, but the suspension is so tweaked that it's like you're driving a sponge almost. Hopefully you've all got sea legs and don't get sick. But
I'm just giggling. I'm doing manic giggling.
Oh, that's actually scary as hell to think about. Manic giggling, bro.
I'm just going to make sure the safety's on the camera.
Yes.
Wind is in my hair.
This vehicle is so jacked up. You practically wheelie up the hill towards the compound, and you circle it. It takes about a minute or so in the Chevy to get round. It's not the biggest compound, but it's not tiny. And you eventually get to what you believe is the main entrance. Do you want to try going the main entrance, or do you want to zoom around and find some other way in? What do you want to do here?
What does the main entrance look like? Is it a door? Is it a shutter door or double doors?
Very large, like metal shutter door, the kind you pull across like that, kind that leads into a scrapyard kind of thing.
It makes lots of noise.
So cows could get through this door.
Cows, vehicles, pretty big stuff could get through.
Okay. I have another
sneaky back door if we can find one.
Yeah, I have one more moment of lucidity, and that is I'm gonna look around and I'm gonna say, "Don't cows eat grass?" And that's all. I just make that observation.
Ooh, perfect. Yes, I'm starting to get somewhat suspicious because, out of a moment of just complete clarity and unexpected anything, Jug says something that makes me think, and I consider that, and potentially the easiest way in, the one that people would normally pick, could be somewhat booby trap. Maybe this guy's intimidated by us, or his beard just doesn't chic and shine like ours does, and he's getting a little intimidated, and maybe he booby trapped it. So I agree with Derek.
Make another perception check, and I'll let any of you have a
I
look
feel like
around.
my awareness is a little up just because I sense it from both of them. I didn't see grass,
Sure.
the door. Something is fishy going on here. I'm not real smart, but
Jugs has got both DB and Jargonheimer thinking,
I rolled a 18.
I really bad. 99.
Oh,
I hope you don't lose an eyeball or a
my
nostril with that
virtual die says 41.
nice.
one. That's almost a
I'm
critical
virtually.
failure.
I'm doing order of best roll to worst. Jugs, you don't hear any mooing. That is real quiet. Jargonheimer,
The grill master.
you don't notice this, but you still think something is off about this place. Like you're not
Can I
getting.
say? I was gonna say, can I say?
sort of
Okay.
you're sort of cackling your head off up the roof. Your Jugs is still going. I don't hear any cows. Why
I
are there
would
any
say,
cows? Here's the cow ranch.
Are they asleep? They must all be asleep.
And this is when I stopped taking the advice from Jugs at that exact moment. And yeah,
Jargonheimer, you're just thinking this doesn't look like a ranch. This doesn't look like a place where they keep cows. Like why can't I see inside? Why is everything just this thick scrap metal fence? Like
and I don't smell cow shit either.
Yeah, seems a little secure for just some cow herders. DB, you rolled a 99. As Jargonheimer's driving around the compound to get a look at the place, you open the door, see if you can get a closer look, and you fall out. You try to tuck and roll.
Who falls
DB's falling out.
DB, listen,
Damn,
I want to break that down for Matt. 95 to 100. Nick, 95 to 100 is a critical fail, which means you don't just not perceive anything in this case. Something terrible comes of it.
Something bad happens. In this case, a floodlight turns on, and whilst DB is still spinning in the dust, the floodlight trains on him. All around the perimeter, floodlights are turning on. One of them is now located the Chevy, so it's now trained on you, following you as you drive and leave DB behind. And it is at this point where Jugs and Jargonheimer both notice that DB is no longer there in the Chevy with them. Let's stick with Jargonheimer and Jugs for the time being. What do you two guys do?
Let's see. What do? I look at Jugs and I say, look, man, cut the shit out. I know this is like it's time to get serious. The guy with all the experience and the bow is gone.
I observe, just because I have decent perception, if not smarts, that there is a light. And I look back and I see DB back there on the ground, and nothing about his posture suggests that he's there on purpose. So I'm like, you think we should go back for him?
Really quick, I may be somewhat confused. The kids popped in here real quick. So what happened to Daryl?
Okay, when you were driving around and you're all trying to work out what's going on, Daryl opened the door of the Chevy and fell out. He was trying to open it and get a closer look, and he lost his grip and he fell out of the Chevy. So you kept going and left him behind. And after this has happened, floodlights from the compound, from the perimeter fence, are now trained on you and on the flopping body of DB as he rolls on the ground, having fallen.
Now, do I notice he falls out?
You have now that Jugs has asked you.
I'm like, look, let's go back. I think he fell.
Yeah. So, regardless of the lights, brothers stick together, and I'm going back and getting him for sure. No question. I don't even think about it. I turn around and I'm on my way.
The lights freak me out, and I grab that 50 cal. I'm getting on that 50 cal. I'm not pulling any triggers. I'm just getting close to it.
Yeah, because Daryl's out there in the midst somewhere.
Yeah.
We don't want to start pulling triggers until we know where he's at, right?
You pull the Chevy handbrake and you slam that thing around 180 degrees, kick it into as high gear as you can get away with, and you screech over to DB as he comes to a stop. As you stop next to him, and DB, you pick yourself up and dust yourself off.
I'm glad it was sand.
The side door opens in the compound, and out of it pours 5 people. All of them are bald. They don't have any eyebrows, any facial hair, nothing at all. They're all wearing black robes. The one at the front, pretty tall guy, 6'2". He takes a shotgun from his back. The others do the same, and they aim these at DB. And the guy in the front, he looks at you, Jargenheimer, and at you, Jugs. And he says, "If you wouldn't mind terribly stepping down from the vehicle and leaving your weapons where I can see them, and I won't shoot your friend."
Quite a refined gentleman, this guy sounds like.
I'm almost convinced to just do it.
Me too.
But instead I go, Jarkenheimer, what should I do? I'm still holding on the 50 cal.
I snap out of it, and there was something about him that seemed very genuine, but also he's trying to get
those
over.
Guns.
Yeah, exactly. It's sawed off too. Like those make messes, and I don't want to be part of that mess. So I keep listening.
I'm going to train my gun on him, and I'm going to say, no.
And I put my hand up and I say, "Sir, he's special. He likes to juggle and stuff." So
I'm just looking confused.
Juggle the bullets. Juggle the bullets.
He aims his sword off at DB's head.
I don't like it.
DB, are you facing the 5 people, or are you facing your apocalyptic buddies?
Well, my first instinct as I was rolling along the floor was to get my bow out and shoot the light. So I was looking at the light, then they came out, and I guess I'm now looking at them. If I've got guns in my face.
You do have a sword off in your face, and you have just heard Jug shout, "No!" in response to "put your weapons down and get out of the Chevy."
I'm second guessing.
Are all the guns pointing at me?
It's a good question. Damn it.
5 sawed-offs pointing at one person. That's
Okay, I'm not real smart, but I know that I probably can't shoot 5 people before one of them shoots my buddy, who I just shared a burger with.
He's
So I
about
do
to
not pull the trigger.
I'm gonna do something ridiculous. I'm gonna leap out of the way and shout, "Shoot the lights," and hope that Jug shoots the lights and we're plunged into darkness.
What I do is I very quickly, the first 3, squirt magic baby powder in their eyes.
Oh,
and they're
make a
blind.
cloud.
Yes.
So you and I are still in the car, right?
I stepped out, baby powdered the shit out of him, and
Okay.
I throw a
Baby powder
knife and
bomb.
knock out one of the lights.
I mean, there is DB between you and the people, so you're kind of throwing baby powder on the back of DB's head.
Yeah, but see, his eyes are facing away, and I know he'll forgive me.
They what they see is just this green tinge around the back of his head. And
Damn it.
to be fair, the 2 at the very back sort of look at each other and then look very quizzically at you. If they did have eyebrows, then you'd see they're raised right now. The guy at the front He just shakes his head and says, "Look, get out of the vehicle, put your guns on the ground,
Dang it.
and your friend will live. I have no qualms about shooting him. Or you.
Now,
Let us just talk and be civil before we must descend into violence."
damn it,
What
we're
do
gonna be
you
at
say?
it's such a disadvantage to let
Say,
go of this
"Sir,
50
you can't
cal.
put a 50 cal that's attached to the back of that Chevy on the ground, so we're gonna have to figure something out about that first.
I can hop down, but then I just feel like
We can put that bad boy on safety though, so we do that.
I'm going to I'm going to listen to them all as if they're the grown-ups and I'm the kid, and I'm like, okay. And so I do this because I don't want Daryl getting shot, DB. And so I climb away from the gun. I don't have any guns on me. Did he say put down our weapons or put down our guns?
Put down your guns.
Okay. Knife is still, I got the, not that this is his business, but knife is still on me. Golf club is still on me.
He does have a silent look about him that he feels that he could shoot you a lot more quickly with his shotgun than you could stab him with the knife.
That's fine. I do get down. I get down like this. I don't like it.
Jagenheimer?
I actually do that. I get down and I want to hear him out, and if measures need to be taken afterwards. But this voice of his is somewhat transing, and I start to trust him.
The moment the two of you down weapons,
Shit.
all 5 people put their sword offs back on their back.
Okay, cool.
And the leader says, "There you go. It doesn't always have to be a violent solution. However, the 3 of you are trespassing on our property. I would very much like to know why."
Oh, we came for a cow.
I said, Johnny Paycheck down there at the Stop Burger told us to come up here and fetch us a heifer.
Wait, I got a Dagobah. I appreciate the name of the place. It was down there at the Dagobah Grill Master. He said he'd give us a burger if we grab a cow from the ranch. This is a ranch, right?
No, it's not. There aren't any cow here. My surname is Kettle.
Guys,
I
we got the wrong
believe-
ranch. Damn it.
I believe the gentleman down at the Dagobah is sorely mistaken. However, it's a restaurant of some sort, isn't it? Perhaps we could negotiate a turnover of some supplies. We have fresh meat. Perhaps we could come to an arrangement. Why don't you come on in and we'll have coffee and we will discuss this rationally. Well, what do you say?
Coffee. My intelligence is 2. I just got to keep that in mind. Let's drink coffee, boys. I miss coffee. It's been 6 months.
Yeah. Coffee's a bigger pull than the burgers.
I start to question the sudden change of events, and I ask, is it powder or dairy creamer that we're using?
Unfortunately, we ran out of fresh milk a long time ago. It is a powdered variety, and we've tried growing our own oat and making our own oat milk. I regret to say it is yet to be proven palatable. You're more than welcome to try it, but I would suggest an Americano in this instance.
You just got to squeeze them really hard. Have y'all tried squeezing the oats really hard?
The milk comes right out of them. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We may discuss squeezing the vegetative products in more detail, perhaps inside over a libation. What do you say? Please. He opens the door. He just came through and ushers the 3 of you inside. The other 4, they just sort of look at you and they smile.
I don't know what this place is, but I don't think we've got much choice. Let's go drink some coffee.
Mud.
Yep.
I like mud.
Okay. The three of you step through. The leader walks with you, and as you're walking along, he says, "My name is Edgar Kettle. This compound is our own little salvation from the wasteland. We're very exclusive about who we let in, but the three of you, fine bearded gentlemen, we're more than welcome to invite you in and get to know you a little better." You come to this tea section, and Edgar says, "If you just go along to the right, there's a sitting room. I'm going to go this way, fetch you coffee, and I will join you. Pull up a chair, get yourself comfortable, and let us discuss the matter of meat for the day go by." And him and the other four, they go to the left, leaving you to go to the right. What would the three of you like to do?
Can I have a good sniff of the environment?
Oh yeah.
Perception nasally.
Are you going to use your nasal
Nasal.
perception?
Nasal perception check.
Make a nasal perception check.
I have succeeded in nasal perception. 11.
Ooh.
Extraordinary.
It's a particularly sterile environment for a wasteland compound. There's not much by way to look at it. The hallways are just metal. They've polished it as best they can. You sort of hear a clinking to the left, and you use your enhanced nasal perception ability. Have a good old sniff, and sure enough, you can detect that sort of bitter coffee aroma floating over. So it seems like they are making you 3 Americanos. You train your nostrils to the right. You don't really smell anything, just a slight musty smell.
I think we're good. Let's go sit down. Relax, boys.
For what it's worth,
Oh.
my hackles are a little raised just due to some primal unease I get from all these dudes with no hair at all.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I'm on guard, but I'm following and I'm going for the coffee.
The three of you head to the right, and the corridor starts getting darker, and you enter the room, which there's no other way out really, just this square room, very dark, can't really see anything inside. When you all enter, there's a loud scraping of metal, and behind you a gate comes down and shuts off the corridor from the room.
We're the cattle.
Get my bow out.
The gate shutting makes me grab my knife. My knife is in my hand.
I grab my baby powder and
And you've got my axe. Don't worry, swing the axe.
yes, I still have the axe.
Oh, that's right. Nice.
It's quite heavy though. I'm getting tired. Can't believe I forgot it was hanging there. I'm like,
you're a big dude. It's light for you. It's like a fork.
I start having flashbacks of the war. There were a few different times that me and the fellows were trapped, and I start getting instinctual.
Does Jargon Hammer attempt anything as a result of this, or you're just getting flashbacks?
I test to see if the door moves at all. And to my dismay, it's quite solid.
You can roll for it and try.
Let's roll. 61.
Okay. This is a real heavy ass metal door, and even though you're above average height and strength kind of guy, you can barely get it to budge. It's at this stage where Edgar reappears, and he has a white china cup and saucer, and he sips from it. I wouldn't do that, old chap. You won't get anywhere. I wanted to welcome the three of you to our little temple. We are very, very excited to have you here. I'm thrilled to say the three of you will soon reach true enlightenment. He presses a button, which is to the side of the door, and the window at the far end of your room opens. Edgar waves his hand and says, "By all means, gaze upon your salvation."
Is he in the room with us?
He's not. There's a metal portcullis separating the two of you.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to aim my bow at Edgar and ask these two what they can see.
I'll look because I'm too dumb not to. I'd look directly at the Enlightenment.
Okay.
I
Jargonheimer?
kind of stand there and start to be somewhat freaked out by the way that this guy is not only speaking, but how things have evolved. And I'm not really sure what to do at the moment. So I kind of just stand idly.
Okay. Jugs, you peer through this window that opens. Solid glass window. You do tap on it, but the glass is reinforced. So you look through it, and you're looking down upon a very large circular pit. At the bottom of the pit is a stake, about 12 foot high, big wooden pole, like a telegraph pole. And tied to it is an oldish man, maybe in his 50s, with a very large white walrus moustache,
I like him.
curled like this. And he's wearing just tattered remnants of the clothes presumably he entered the compound in. And he's scrabbling against the pole to which he is chained. You sort of follow his gaze because he's freaking out. And you see this 9-foot hulking monster. It's bone white, humanoid, absolutely gargantuan in terms of its muscles and strength. It looks like a hairless, bone white Zangief from Street Fighter. And you watch this creature stride towards the walrus moustache man. It opens its jaw, far too wide, as is comfortable, and its serrated teeth clamp down on the man's face and remove it entirely. And at this stage, Edgar takes another sip. True enlightenment. And that is where I'm going to call the session.
Ah!
That answers a couple questions for me because in my mind so this type of game is often played in person too, as well as kind of what we're doing, or is it more
Originally in person.
Originally in person, but now it's 2024. I think COVID really made virtual RPGs like this more of a thing than they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys seen those D&D rooms that they're building, like on from people on TikTok and stuff? Like, incredible. If you haven't seen them, like, how could you not be impressed or want to get into it if you see these rooms that they're making? They're incredible. But what I'm getting at is like being in person and, kind of making it real, like these people are doing. And even like it's just us at a table having beers or whatever. Like,
the blocking awesome. With the some people have the miniature figurines and so on, so you can see the blocking and stuff. I think that can be a little bit distracting if you go overboard with it. My buddy has a TV laid flat down on the table that has dungeon maps pulled up and that they can like maneuver within.
So,
anyways,
depends what you're after. If you're after crunching all the numbers, then that's one way. If you're after just the story, then that's the other way. That's the other sort of dynamic.
The burning question is, Matt, that was your very first ever session doing something like this. So how was it?
No, I absolutely. I was hoping that that it would bring out of me like what I hear from a lot of authors, and it's like those different scenarios and topic or inspiration, kind of like to just open your mind and come up with different ideas. And I can definitely see how that would be useful, and it's so much fun.
Did you anticipate
much? Like, I don't know why I say easier, because it wasn't like easy or hard. It was just it was more free. Like I was able to do exactly like what I want.
Eat horse meat.
Having to stick to these like rules that I kind of prepared for.
Did you anticipate talking about eating horses?
I can't say that I did.
Well,
I don't know if I ever anticipated that topic. But I was gonna ask something too. Like, there's a million different like tabletop RPG games I see like on Kickstarter and stuff like that. Are they all somewhat the same in some ways, and then they have their own little differences between each kind of like campaign topic or theme?
The rules and the system will change. Yeah. It's always quintessentially a group of people getting together and telling a collaborative story. That's the heart of it. And that's
the roles and the stats and the way that you make dice rolls is the different systems, but that is basically role playing,
which would come with that specific game, right? So, like, I don't know of any examples, but let's just say, what's up, buddy? Dungeons and Dragons, or God, I'm so ignorant. Any of them, they're going to have their own unique type of rules, right?
Yeah, and how to roll, how to succeed, how to fail, what constitutes a critical success, adding stats to rolls. We're done, Miss Beard.
Yeah, I can't wait to I'm more excited at this moment to continue doing it, and a lot more of it, hopefully.
We had to leave it on a cliffhanger. Sorry.
I know cliffhanger's good. Although I sure would like to have fought that thing. My low intelligence is clashing with a lot of my instincts in your story.
I love it. I love your low intelligence.
It was fun, man. It was like you were that character everybody could pick on, but also like at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt, you were getting annoyed at him. I can tell. You're the one who pegged me with a rock and knocked me unconscious.
Yeah, I know, but I'm also going to like save you if you're like drowning.
You did. And I appreciate that.
Yes, that's fantastic. I mean, for your first ever go at doing it, Matt, I think you were incredible.
Yeah, you were amazing.
You got the spirit. Like, it's classic RPG fashion. You see a load of vehicles outside a diner, which you were meant to go in and advance the plot, but you decided to steal one.
Yeah.
Thank God it was fun.
Exactly. And it's cool not only come up with your own ideas, but hear others as well. It also sparks, I can see like sitting down to write a scene, a chapter, and if the creative juices are flowing, and you can have those kind of callbacks to ideas you've heard, the more the better, right?
I had a very dawn till dusk feeling when everybody reacted to the grill master coming through the door, and I thought it was about to be a showdown.
Man, I've been practicing the grill master in the shower all week. My family think I'm so weird. Grill master.
Have you got the tattoos?
Should have drawn them on for the session. Commit.
Well, Me and Mrs. Beard and the 4 turds are going to eat some supper. I haven't called it supper in forever. Dinner. It was so much fun though, man. I can't wait to continue to do it. And
Matt, you got another interview tonight, don't you?
No,
Oh,
yeah, something come up with something with him, and sending lots of love to Michael Roberti. He's going through a little bit hard time at the moment, but yeah, nothing tonight. And I don't remember at my next one. I have to look it up and post it tonight.
I just want to say to the folks watching and in the comments, we see you, and thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being with us. That was so much fun.
It's insane for you.
And thanks for the preview.
Beardsmen of the Bookpocalypse will be back very soon, and we will continue what the Bookpocalypse will unveil. We'll see you guys.